This is your vocabulary video for the Nile River Valley. Your first term is Nile River Valley. The Nile River Valley is a river valley civilization that was located in northeastern Africa. It was located in modern-day Egypt. You can see on the right-hand side, on a world map, this is the Nile River Valley. That's being outlined by the cursor. That is modern-day Egypt. If we zoomed into that area, it would look like this. Anything outlined in green along this river is called the Nile River Valley. The next word you should know is Nile River. The Nile River is the longest river in the world. It runs from south to north, and it empties into the Mediterranean Sea. Just so we're clear, if we go back to the previous slide, this area is the Nile River. The green outlines the Nile River. Your next term is pharaoh. A pharaoh is an Egyptian god king. Pharaohs were the people who ruled Egypt. If you look on the right-hand side on this picture, you see some female pharaohs. That's interesting because we don't see that in all civilizations, but some women could become pharaohs. The next vocabulary term is theocracy. A theocracy is a type of government based on religious authority. So on the right-hand side, it shows us the outline of a theocracy in ancient Egypt. At the very top is God, meaning God has the most power. A pharaoh is just below the god, like in the previous slide. It said that they were god kings. They were kind of seen as a god in the flesh on earth. Below the pharaoh came a vizier, and that was someone who was just an administrator. Below that we have the high priests and regional nobles. That kind of shows the flow of power in ancient Egyptian theocracy. But it's based on religion. That's the key. It's a government based on religion. Where God has the most power, then the pharaoh is a representative of God on earth, and then the power just spreads down, but it's all based on religion. When most people think of Egypt, I think this is probably the picture that comes to mind. Your next word is pyramid. Pyramids were giant tombs built for pharaohs and other important Egyptians. Some of these took years and years and years to make through the use of slave labor. But you can see some pictures in the background here of some pyramids. This might be something else you think of when you think of ancient Egypt. The next word is mummification. Mummification is the process of preserving a corpse for the afterlife. Mummification is done by using embalming and drying out of that dead body. And you'll see some examples to the left, underneath and to the right here, of mummies that have been wrapped, or unwrapped in this case, and then put into sarcophagus. Your next vocabulary word is hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics is the Egyptian system of writing. You can see from the example below, it uses pictures to represent words. On the right-hand side, you can see just a few examples of what these hieroglyphics mean. Just a few examples. Your last word for this PowerPoint is papyrus. Papyrus is paper-like material made with reeds. It's made out of a plant. Very much like paper, it's something that the Egyptians came up with to record important things. You can see here they recorded their hieroglyphics on papyrus.